Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of Hollywood's most iconic stars. Today, we're shining the spotlight on the one and only John Wayne, a man whose rugged charm and unwavering charisma have captivated audiences for generations. With a career spanning over 5 decades, John Wayne's impact on American cinema is undeniable. But to truly understand the man behind the legend, we must start at the beginning. Born Marion Robert Morrison on May 26, 1907, in Winterset, Iowa, John Wayne's early life was marked by simplicity and hard work. His father, Clyde Leonard Morrison, was a pharmacist who struggled to make ends meet, working tirelessly behind the counter of his small shop, filling prescriptions and offering advice to the locals. The smell of medicine and the soft glow of the apothecary jars filled the air, as Marion would often help out around the store, learning the value of hard work and dedication from a young age. His mother, Mary Brown, was a former schoolteacher with a passion for the arts, who had traded in her chalkboard for a life of domesticity, but still managed to instill in her son a love for literature and music. The family's modest home, which still stands today, was filled with love, laughter, and a strong sense of values that would shape John Wayne's character in the years to come. The creaky wooden floors and the warm fireplace were witness to countless family gatherings, where Marion's parents would regale him with stories of their own childhoods, of struggles and triumphs, of dreams and disappointments. These early lessons would become the foundation upon which Marion would build his own life, a life that would be marked by both incredible success and personal turmoil. As a young boy, Marion Morrison was a scrappy kid who loved the outdoors and had a natural affinity for sports. He was especially close to his father, who taught him the importance of perseverance and self-reliance, often taking him on long hikes through the Iowa countryside, pointing out the constellations in the night sky, and sharing tales of adventure and bravery. The wide-open spaces and the freedom to roam instilled in Marion a sense of wonder and awe that would stay with him throughout his life. However, it was his mother who instilled in him a love for literature and the arts, often reading to him from classic novels like The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and The Count of Monte Cristo, encouraging his creative expression and nurturing his imagination. This dichotomy between his parents' influences would later become a hallmark of John Wayne's persona, a tough, rugged exterior with a soft spot for romance and poetry. As Marion navigated the complexities of childhood, he began to develop a unique blend of toughness and sensitivity, one that would serve him well in his future career as an actor. He was a boy who could roughhouse with the best of them, but also had a deep appreciation for the beauty of nature and the power of words. In 1911, when Marion was just 4 years old, the Morrison family relocated to Palmdale, California, in search of better economic opportunities. The move had a profound impact on young Marion, who was immediately drawn to the vast, open spaces and the sense of freedom that came with them. He spent hours exploring the desert landscape, developing a deep appreciation for the natural world that would later become a staple of his film career. The Mojave Desert, with its twisted Joshua trees and endless dunes, became Marion's playground, a place where he could roam free and unfettered, where he could test his limits and push himself to the edge. As Marion navigated his early years in California, he was also exposed to the harsh realities of rural life. His father's struggles to find stable work and the family's frequent moves took a toll on their finances, forcing them to rely on the charity of friends and neighbors. Despite these challenges, the Morrisons remained a tight-knit family unit, with Marion's parents instilling in him a strong sense of responsibility and resourcefulness. They taught him how to fix a broken fence, how to hunt for food, and how to make do with what little they had. These early lessons in self-sufficiency would serve Marion well in his future career, where he would often find himself in remote locations, relying on his wits and his cunning to get by. The year 1914 marked a significant turning point in Marion's life, as his family settled in Glendale, California, where he would spend most of his formative years. It was here that he developed a passion for football, which became an integral part of his high school experience. Marion's athletic prowess and natural leadership abilities earned him the respect of his peers, and he quickly became a popular figure at Glendale Union High School. He was a standout player on the field, with a fierce competitive spirit and a willingness to take risks that would serve him well in his future endeavors. As Marion entered his teenage years, he began to explore his creative side, joining the school's drama club and participating in various stage productions. His early forays into acting were met with encouragement from his mother, who saw the potential for her son to become a great performer. She would often attend his plays, beaming with pride as Marion took on roles like Hamlet and Macbeth, his voice booming through the auditorium as he brought the characters to life. However, it was his father who cautioned him against pursuing a career in the arts, urging him instead to focus on more practical pursuits. As Marion navigated the tumultuous landscape of his late teenage years, he began to feel the weight of his father's expectations bearing down upon him like a physical force. His father, Clyde Morrison, a man of unyielding determination and strong will, urged him to attend the University of Southern California on a football scholarship, envisioning a future for his son that was marked by gridiron glory and athletic achievement. However, Marion's heart remained stubbornly entrenched in the world of acting, a realm where he could lose himself in the magic of make-believe and tap into the deep wellspring of emotions that lay within him. As he struggled to reconcile his own desires with the expectations of those around him, Marion found solace in the world of cinema. He soon found himself working as an extra and prop man at the Fox Film Corporation, a studio that was teeming with life and energy. It was there that he befriended the legendary director John Ford, a man whose gruff exterior belied a deep well of kindness and wisdom. Ford, who would go on to become a mentor and a close friend to Marion, saw something in the young man that no one else did, a spark of talent that, with careful nurturing, could be fanned into a flame. It was during this period that Marion adopted the stage name, John Wayne, reportedly after the Revolutionary War General Mad Anthony Wayne. The name, which would eventually become synonymous with toughness and rugged individualism, was chosen for its strength and simplicity. As John Wayne, Marion felt a sense of liberation, as if he had finally found a persona that allowed him to express himself in a way that was authentic and true. In 1926, John Wayne landed his first leading role in the film, The Great K&A Train Robbery, a movie that marked an important milestone in his journey towards stardom. Although the film itself was not a major commercial success, it gave Wayne the opportunity to showcase his talents and demonstrate his potential as a leading man. It was his subsequent collaboration with John Ford on the 1928 film Hangman's House that truly marked the beginning of his rise to fame, however. The movie, which was a tense and gripping drama, allowed Wayne to tap into his own sense of vulnerability and emotion, and it was this newfound depth that caught the attention of critics and audiences alike. Over the next several years, Wayne worked tirelessly, appearing in a string of low-budget films and honing his craft under the watchful eye of Ford. The director, who had taken Wayne under his wing, taught him the importance of discipline and hard work, and encouraged him to explore the depths of his own emotions and experiences. As Wayne recalled in later years, John Ford was more than just a director to me. He was a father figure, a mentor, and a friend. He taught me how to be a man, both on and off the screen. The early 1930s proved to be a pivotal time for John Wayne as he began to establish himself as a bankable star. His breakout role came in 1930 with the film The Big Trail, which, although not a commercial success at the time, showcased his unique blend of rugged individualism and vulnerability. The movie, which was an epic tale of adventure and exploration, allowed Wayne to demonstrate his range and versatility as an actor, and it marked an important turning point in his career. This was followed by a string of successful films, including Ride Him, Cowboy, 1932, and Babyface, 1933, cementing Wayne's status as a leading man in Hollywood. One of the most significant events of this period was John Wayne's first collaboration with actress Marlene Dietrich on the 1930 film The Devil's Playground. Although their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, their off-screen relationship was reportedly tumultuous, with Wayne allegedly becoming infatuated with the German actress. As he recalled in later years, "I was just a young butt from California, and she was this exotic, sophisticated woman. I didn't stand a chance." As Wayne navigated the complex web of emotions that arose during this period, he found himself drawn to Dietrich's enigmatic presence like a moth to a flame. Their relationship, which was marked by intense passion and fiery arguments, left an indelible mark on Wayne's psyche, and it would influence his future relationships with women in profound ways. Throughout the 1930s, John Wayne continued to work at a frenetic pace, appearing in over 60 films and solidifying his reputation as one of Hollywood's most durable and dependable stars. His collaboration with John Ford remained a defining aspect of his career, with the two men working together on classics such as The Telegraph Trail, 1933, and Three Musketeers, 1935. As Wayne himself noted, John Ford was the most important influence in my life. He taught me how to be a man, how to act, and how to live. As the decade drew to a close, John Wayne found himself at the forefront of the Hollywood Western, a genre that would come to define his career. His performances in films such as Red River Valley, 1938, and New Frontier, 1939, showcased his unique ability to convey a sense of grit and determination, while also hinting at a deeper vulnerability. It was during this period that Wayne began to develop the iconic persona that would become synonymous with his name, a tough, rugged individualist with a heart of gold. The onset of World War II marked a significant turning point in John Wayne's life and career. In 1942, he enlisted in the United States Army, but was eventually rejected due to his age and a pre-existing medical condition. Undeterred, Wayne continued to contribute to the war effort, using his status as a movie star to promote patriotism and nationalism. He also began to produce and act in films that were designed to boost morale and support the troops, such as Reap the Wild Wind, 1942, and Flying Tigers, 1942. As the war drew to a close, Wayne found himself reflecting on his own experiences and emotions, and he began to explore new themes and ideas in his work. The movies he made during this period, such as They Were Expendable, 1945, and Without Reservations, 1946, were marked by a newfound sense of introspection and self-awareness, and they demonstrated Wayne's growing maturity and depth as an actor. As the war drew to a close, John Wayne found himself reflecting on his own experiences and emotions, and he began to explore new themes and ideas in his work. The movies he made during this period, such as They Were Expendable, 1945, and Without Reservations, 1946, were marked by a newfound sense of introspection and self-awareness, and they demonstrated Wayne's growing maturity and depth as an actor. These films showcased his ability to convey complex emotions and vulnerabilities, which added a new layer of nuance to his on-screen persona. One of the most significant experiences that influenced Wayne during this period was his time spent with the United States Navy during World War II. As a member of the Office of Strategic Services, OSS, he had witnessed firsthand the brutality and sacrifice of war, which left an indelible mark on his psyche. This exposure would later inform his performances in films like The Longest Day, 1962, and In Harm's Way, 1965, where he brought a sense of authenticity to his portrayals of military leaders. In the years that followed, Wayne continued to work at a prolific pace, appearing in films such as Red River, 1948, and She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, 1949, which cemented his status as one of Hollywood's most beloved and respected stars. His collaboration with John Ford remained a defining aspect of his career, with the two men working together on classics such as The Quiet Man, 1952, and The Searchers, 1956. As Wayne himself noted, John Ford was the most important influence in my life. He taught me how to be a man, how to act, and how to live. Their partnership was built on mutual respect and trust, which allowed them to push each other creatively and explore new depths in their work. As the 1960s dawned, John Wayne found himself at the forefront of the Hollywood Western, with films such as The Alamo, 1960, and The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, 1962, showcasing his unique ability to convey a sense of grit and determination. He also began to explore new themes and ideas in his work, including the complexities of war and the human condition, as seen in films such as The Longest Day, 1962, and In Harm's Way, 1965. These movies not only demonstrated Wayne's versatility as an actor, but also reflected his own personal growth and self-awareness. Throughout his life, John Wayne was known for his conservative politics and his unwavering support for the United States military. He was a vocal supporter of the Vietnam War, and he made several trips to visit troops in the field, where he would often perform and boost morale. As he said, "I'm not a politician, I'm an actor, but I believe in my country, and I believe in our way of life." This sense of patriotism and loyalty was deeply ingrained in Wayne's persona, and it resonated with audiences across the United States. One notable example of Wayne's commitment to the military was his visit to the troops in Vietnam in 1966. He spent several weeks touring the country, visiting bases, and performing for soldiers. This experience had a profound impact on him, and he later spoke about the sense of camaraderie and shared purpose that he felt with the men and women serving overseas. As he said, "Those kids over there, they're fighting for our freedom, and I'm proud to be able to do my part in supporting them." In his later years, John Wayne continued to work tirelessly, appearing in films such as True Grit, 1969, and The Cowboys, 1972. He was diagnosed with lung cancer in 1964, but he continued to smoke and work despite the warnings of his doctors. As he said, "I've been lucky, I've had a good life, and I'm not going to let a little thing like cancer get me down." This defiance in the face of adversity was characteristic of Wayne's persona, and it inspired countless fans around the world. John Wayne passed away on June 11, 1979, at the age of 72, leaving behind a legacy as one of Hollywood's most beloved and respected stars. He was remembered for his tough, rugged individualism, as well as his deep sense of patriotism and loyalty to his country. As his friend and collaborator John Ford said, "John Wayne was a great actor, but he was an even greater man. He had a heart of gold, and he always put others before himself." This sentiment was echoed by countless colleagues, friends, and fans who remembered Wayne as a true original, a man who lived life on his own terms and left an indelible mark on the world. Today, John Wayne is remembered as a true Hollywood legend, with a legacy that continues to inspire and influence new generations of actors and filmmakers. His films remain some of the most beloved and enduring classics of American cinema, and his iconic persona continues to captivate audiences around the world. He may have been a man of his time, but his impact on popular culture is timeless. As an actor, he demonstrated the importance of vulnerability, authenticity, and a willingness to take risks. As a person, he showed us the value of conviction, loyalty, and a commitment to one's principles. And as a cultural icon, he reminds us of the enduring power of storytelling and the impact that it can have on our lives. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold, reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.